Why simplicity is the highest form of living. Today, let us reflect on a question that seems simple on the surface, yet touches the deepest layers of human existence. Why is a simple life the most refined life? From the moment we are young, a script is handed to us quietly, unquestioned, almost sacred. It tells us to move from tutoring classes to talent training, from elite schools to prestigious universities, from high-paying jobs to mortgages, cars, marriage, and children. And then our children inherit the same script as if life were a relay race with no time to ask where the track is leading. Society whispers a promise: accumulate enough wealth, status, and possessions, and you will finally be free. Freedom, we are told, is something to be purchased, an item waiting at the end of a long conveyor belt of effort. So, we obey. We work 60, 70, even 80 hours a week. We climb ladders, build businesses, and chase numbers that rise but never satisfy. We buy houses to anchor us, cars to move us, and luxuries to decorate the emptiness we dare not name. We check every box, fulfill every expectation, and play our role with diligence. Yet when we finally arrive at the summit of success, we discover something unsettling. The peak is quiet, and the view is strangely hollow. The freedom we were promised is not there. The finish line dissolves the moment we cross it. And in that silence, a realization begins to dawn. Perhaps the life we were told to chase was never truly ours. Psychology has a term for this endless chase: hedonic adaptation. It describes the human tendency to quickly adjust to improvements in our circumstances and then return to our baseline level of happiness. You buy a new car and feel thrilled for a week. Then the excitement fades, and the car becomes nothing more than a vehicle that takes you from one place to another. Your happiness resets to where it was before the purchase. So you begin chasing the next upgrade, a bigger house, a more expensive watch, the latest model of something you already own. Each time you believe, this one will finally make me feel successful. And each time, the thrill is brief, followed by the same quiet return to normal. You run faster, buy more, achieve more, yet your lasting sense of happiness never increases. What grows instead is exhaustion. You burn through your energy, your attention, your life force, until the weight becomes unbearable. The truth is that external success often demands an internal sacrifice. To accumulate symbols of status, you pay a price far greater than money you pay with the very energy that animates your life. Have you ever noticed that everything you own eventually begins to own you? Every possession demands your time, your effort, your money, and your mental space. A large house requires maintenance, property taxes, utilities, insurance, furniture. It devours your weekends with chores, cleaning, repairs, landscaping. It anchors you to one location and forces you to maintain a high income to support it. The house you bought to prove your success becomes a heavy anchor that limits your freedom. A luxury car requires premium fuel, expensive insurance, regular servicing, careful parking, and constant worry about scratches or theft. It drains your resources while losing value every day. The car you bought to feel successful becomes a liability that quietly siphons your energy. A yacht demands docking fees, maintenance, storage. A vacation home requires management, taxes, and upkeep, even when you're not there. Every object asks for something, and the total cost of maintaining a complex lifestyle is staggering, not only financially, but in time, attention, and psychological burden. To sustain this lifestyle, you work harder, earn more, push yourself further. That pressure creates more stress, which consumes even more of your inner resources. And so, the cycle reinforces itself, a loop with no natural endpoint. The minimalist life we speak of today is the ultimate force that breaks this cycle. At its core, minimalism is the recognition that the simpler your life becomes, the more freedom you gain. The fewer possessions you cling to, the fewer things possess you. The more streamlined your lifestyle, the greater your autonomy. The fewer obligations you carry, the more choices you have. We choose simplicity not because we cannot afford complexity, but because we finally understand that the true cost of complexity far exceeds money. Modern society traps us in a subtle illusion. It equates material abundance with success, and success with freedom. But this is the paradox of a consumer society. It is profoundly anti-human. Possessions restrict your mobility. When you own a house, rooms full of furniture, multiple cars, and countless personal items, moving across states or countries becomes nearly impossible. Your belongings pin you to one location. Possessions restrict your career freedom. When your lifestyle demands high fixed expenses, you cannot easily choose a job you love if it pays less. Your things force you to maintain a high-pressure income, even if the work is destroying you. Possessions consume your time. Weekends disappear into cleaning, repairs, errands, and maintenance. Your life becomes a service center for your belongings. Possessions occupy your mental space. Your attention is spent managing objects rather than cultivating growth, creativity, or inner clarity. Possessions create fragility. The more you own, the more you fear losing. You need more insurance, more protection, more vigilance. What you accumulate becomes a source of anxiety rather than fulfillment. Let us look honestly at the social game of status. In this game, people compete for position by displaying wealth, achievements, and symbols of success. The game is seductive because it is measurable. The size of your house, the brand of your car, the height of your income, the prestige of your title. These metrics allow you to say, according to these external standards, I am winning. But status is always relative and therefore endless. No matter what you achieve, someone will always have more. You buy a $100,000 car and feel proud until you see a $200,000 one. You earn $500,000 a year and feel accomplished until you meet someone earning 4 times that. You buy a spacious 400 square meter apartment and feel satisfied until you visit someone's 800 square meter villa. The game never ends. You can never win. There is always a higher tier, always someone above you, always a comparison that makes you feel insufficient. It is unsustainable. Wealth alone can never deliver lasting contentment. Minimalism's insight is not that material things are evil. Material abundance is necessary for a stable life. Its wisdom lies in revealing that the hidden costs of ownership often exceed the value of the objects themselves. Most people severely underestimate these costs until they are buried under the very things they believed would bring happiness. When you see the game clearly, this endless loop of material accumulation and status comparison, and then choose to participate consciously or step away entirely, you change the rules. You reclaim authorship of your life because you finally understand that freedom and inner peace are worth far more than anything money can buy. A simple life is not a choice for poverty. It is a way of living, one that has nothing to do with how much visible wealth a person possesses. Instead, It recognizes the profound importance of invisible wealth in shaping a meaningful and secure life. Invisible wealth does not announce itself through lifestyle or possessions, yet it provides the deepest form of safety and freedom. Visible wealth is everything money can buy. Invisible wealth is health, mental clarity, emotional stability, and a sense of inner sufficiency. It is the person who lives in a modest home with no mortgage, drives a reliable used car, keeps a stable investment portfolio, and maintains extremely low fixed expenses. They do not flaunt anything, yet they possess something far more valuable: genuine security, real choice, and the freedom to make decisions based on personal values rather than financial pressure. People with invisible wealth may appear ordinary, but they are the ones who stand on solid ground. Regardless of income level, their expenses are low, their lifestyle simple, their savings substantial. They do not seek attention, yet they achieve complete financial independence. These are the people who can weather storms, take risks, and make choices rooted in conviction rather than fear. Those who live simply are the ones who are truly free. They cannot be controlled by money, manipulated by status competition, or seduced by superficial approval. Once you establish an internal definition of value, you become immune to external manipulation. When you stop caring about others' judgments, you become ungovernable. When you refuse to play the comparison game, you become unpredictable. And those who are unpredictable, self-defined, and grounded in inner worth are the ones who possess the greatest freedom. In any hierarchical society, power often operates through subtle forms of pressure, binding people to expectations, obligations, and endless consumption. This is why mainstream culture frequently criticizes or mocks minimalist lifestyles. The modern economic system depends on consumption, competition, and the pursuit of external validation. People who stop overspending, stop competing for status, and stop seeking approval through purchases pose a fundamental challenge to that system. Industries thrive when individuals feel compelled to upgrade, display, and prove themselves. But when someone chooses a small home, a used car, simple clothing, minimal entertainment, and a life free of debt, every one of those industries loses a customer who could spend but chooses not to. For an economy built on perpetual consumption, this is deeply unsettling. And so society often pathologizes simplicity, portraying those who choose minimalist living as unambitious, irresponsible, or afraid of success. It insists they are pretending not to want what they can't achieve, or avoiding adulthood, or rejecting responsibility. These narratives exist for one purpose: to prevent people from realizing that choosing simplicity is, in fact, choosing freedom. One of the most powerful psychological shifts in the minimalist journey is the rediscovery of contentment. Consumer culture is built on the destruction of this idea. There is always a better version, a newer model, a more advanced option. You are never supposed to feel satisfied with what you have, because satisfaction stops consumption. So, marketing works tirelessly to manufacture artificial dissatisfaction, convincing you that what you own is inadequate, outdated, or embarrassing. This psychological warfare is exhausting, and it is designed to be endless. If you get caught in it, you will never feel fulfilled, because the system itself is engineered to prevent fulfillment. Minimalism breaks this cycle by allowing you to define for yourself what enough means, and then defending that definition against external pressure. Enough income to live comfortably without financial anxiety. Enough space to feel at ease without rooms you never use. Enough possessions to support your life without creating clutter or maintenance. enough social connection to feel grounded without unnecessary drama. When you define enough and stop once you reach it, you step off the treadmill of consumption. You enter a state of self-sufficiency, and self-sufficiency is the foundation of inner peace. Money is renewable. You can always earn more. But time is non-renewable. Once spent, it is gone forever. This simple truth should make it obvious that time is more valuable than money. Yet most people live as if the opposite were true. They sacrifice time to accumulate money and then spend that money on things that consume even more of their time. Minimalism's insight is that time is the ultimate form of wealth. The ability to decide how you spend each hour of your life is more valuable than any possession. Every object requires time. Every obligation requires time. Every relationship requires time. Every achievement requires time. The question is not whether these things are worth your time. Many of them are. The real question is whether you are consciously choosing how to allocate your time or whether your lifestyle is choosing for you. When you reclaim your time, you reclaim your life. So, how do we walk the path of minimalism in practice? 1. Define what is enough. What level of income allows you to live comfortably without pressure? How much space feels warm and sufficient without becoming excessive? Which possessions are genuinely useful and which exist only to signal status? Minimalists create clear definitions, and once they reach enough, they stop. They refuse to let desire expand endlessly. 2. Practice radical subtraction. They remove anything without a clear purpose. They step away from relationships where the emotional cost outweighs the value. They resign from roles, titles, and obligations that consume time without adding meaning. They refine their lives with precision until only what truly matters remains. 3. Resist addition. Before accepting anything new, whether an object, a responsibility, or a relationship, they ask, is this worth the cost of my time, energy, money, and peace? Most things fail this test. Most invitations are politely declined. Minimalists protect their life from unnecessary complexity. 4. Invest in time autonomy. They structure work to maximize flexibility and minimize forced obligations. They build savings and investments to reduce dependence on active income. They design a lifestyle with extremely low fixed costs, so that, if they choose, they can always work less. Their priority is freedom, not the maximization of profit. 5. Build an internal source of validation. They stop caring about how others perceive their choices. They stop comparing themselves to peers. They stop seeking approval, applause, or status. Instead, they create an inner standard rooted in their own values rather than external metrics. The result is a life that may look ordinary from the outside, but feels profoundly abundant on the inside. A life with calm as its foundation. A life where time belongs to you, not to obligations. A life where you feel genuinely satisfied rather than endlessly chasing. This is the highest form of strength. When we choose simplicity, we gain the power to make decisions based on values rather than economic pressure. To choose meaning over profit. To choose authenticity over conformity. This is real power. And this power unsettles any system built on obedience, consumption, and external validation. Because once you choose simplicity, you cannot be bought. You cannot be threatened. You cannot be manipulated. You cannot be harvested you cannot be enslaved. You become the freest and therefore the strongest person in the world.